Why BCG? This is a common interview question. BCG wants to know why you want to work with them. But apart from the interview, it's important for you to ask yourself why BCG is the right firm for you. In this video, we're going to help you answer the question both for your interviewer and yourself. We'll also cover why do interviewers even ask the why BCG question? How does BCG's culture compare to McKinsey and Bain and other consulting firms? And how can you come up with a unique why BCG response? Make sure you watch to the end of this video to hear our very own coaches who used to work at BCG answer the why BCG question. Hi, my name is Bruce with My Consulting Offer. Our company has helped people from all types of backgrounds land their dream jobs at top consulting firms. We've helped over 500 clients land their jobs in consulting, and we can help you too. For example, this is how we helped Helena get her job offer at BCG.
Before I started with my consulting offer, I'd actually only done one case ever. So my background was extremely limited. This is my dream job. So this is a drop in the bucket of like my potential and what I want to achieve. So I'm really glad I invested this money. Even at the time, it felt like it was a little scary. You didn't know what's going to happen, but it definitely paid off in the end. And I'm really happy I did it.
If you're just joining us today, click and subscribe to get new videos on landing your dream consulting job as soon as they're released. It's common for consulting firms to ask you why they want you to work at their firm. But why do they ask this? Imagine you're dating and you want to be in a relationship with someone named Sarah. Sarah has several options to choose from, in other words, other candidates. Sarah wants to be with the person who she likes the most and who genuinely wants to be with her. This is a predictive indicator that the relationship will work out long term. If you just say you're the best, Sarah may think that this is so generic that you say this to every person you meet. Instead, Sarah wants to hear a personalized reason why she's the ideal fit for you. Similarly, BCG has a lot of candidates who want to work there. In fact, hundreds of thousands of people apply every year. But just like the dating process, the interview process is meant to identify good matches for both sides. BCG has asked this question countless times, so they've heard every possible answer. That's why you shouldn't search for the perfect response that you think they want to hear. You should search for the personalized response you genuinely feel. Spend time reflecting on why you actually want to work in consulting and specifically BCG. So now that you know why BCG asked this question, it's time for you to formulate your response. First off, BCG is interested in learning why you want to work with them instead of their closest competitors, McKinsey and Bain. This can be challenging for most people because the other two firms have more clear reputations. McKinsey has a reputation for being the most prestigious firm, partly because they're the biggest and the oldest. Meanwhile, Bain has a reputation for being the most fun firm, partly because they're the smallest and youngest. BCG falls somewhere in the middle. A starting point could be BCG's values, which are listed on their website. Of the 9 values, 3 relate to personal character: integrity, diversity, respect for the individual. Now, you should personalize these values to your own story. Here's a sample answer of how BCG's respect for the individual might resonate with you. BCG recognizes that people are its #1 asset, so they invest a lot of time and resources to develop you. This starts during the recruiting process, where they get to know you on a personal level, and continues throughout your entire career at the firm. This is shown through BCG's PTO program, which is intended to support your work-life balance at the firm. BCG consultants even spend time together outside of work, take vacations together, and attend each other's weddings, etc. This is the type of working environment I've thrived at in the past and is something I'm really looking forward to at BCG. These values may be relevant at McKinsey or Bain, but they are particularly special at BCG. These 3 values may sound cliche on the surface, but they will be stronger if you can support it with evidence. Provide examples of stories you've heard about the firm or stories about how you've thrived in this type of culture in the past. One of the best ways to do this is by speaking to people at the firm, either through organized coffee chats through your official on-campus recruiting process, or by simply reaching out to someone on LinkedIn. By speaking to people at the firm, especially in your target office, you will learn more about the culture than you can on the firm's website or through a Reddit thread. Plus, if you hit it off with them, you may have people willing to go to bat for you. During the interview, reference these conversations. It's not a name-dropping contest, but it does show that you've made an effort and that you will be able to connect with your colleagues. You can also speak about specific types of work BCG does that interest you. For example, you can cite articles that they published or explain your passion for their growth in the digital space. A couple of the BCG virtues which you could mention relating to the work are social impact or expanding the art of what is possible. When it comes to work, one of the most common why BCG answers revolves around the firm's academic rigor and new problem-solving approach for each client engagement. BCG consultants are encouraged to think outside the box and avoid applying one client's solution to another client's problem. Given this is an emphasis at BCG, you can demonstrate that you have this skill during the case interview portion of the interview by delivering a robust and customized framework. If you're interviewing with a member of your target office, such as the managing director or partner in the Bay Area office, then your why BCG answer can also include why you specifically want to work at BCG in the Bay Area. Again, you can reference specific conversations with people in this office or types of work this office focuses on. You can also talk about why you want to live in that city. For example, you may have heard how people enjoy spending time outdoors in the Bay, or how colleagues will take weekend trips to Napa. Or you may simply explain that how you grew up in the area and have a significant other who needs to be in the city. In the end, you may find it easier to identify larger differences between three offices within the same firm, such as the Bay Area, Houston, and Boston, than you will broadly between the three firms. If you're still struggling to come up with your answer, here are some questions you can ask yourself. Is it the prestige of the firm that appeals to you? Did you meet a group of BCG consultants that you fit right into? Is the industry work that BCG done so impressive that you don't want to work anywhere else? Do you love the pro bono work that they've done? If you spend time to reflect, you should come up with an authentic answer. And as we mentioned before, authenticity is one of the things that makes BCG special. We also want to point out some red flags you should avoid when asked why BCG. Do not mention BCG offers high compensation. BCG flies their consultants in first class. BCG will add prestige to your resume. While these may be reasons for why you're pursuing consulting, they're certainly not appropriate for an interview. And if your reasons end there, we also encourage you to dig deeper into whether or not consulting and BCG are actually right for you. There are lots of prestigious careers that pay a lot of money. Why did you pick consulting? Finally, here are a couple sample answers to why BCG questions from a former consultant and a former recruiter who are now coaches at my consulting offer. From what I've seen at my time at BCG, people there care tremendously about each other, and managers are very involved in your development. I know that some of the friends I made there I'll likely keep in touch with my entire life. Valentine Soma, former consultant. For me, BCG always felt like family. It didn't matter if you were in recruiting, a consultant, or a partner. It didn't matter which BCG office you sat in. What matters was how you treated others and how you tackled challenging problems and how you sought to make a difference. The BCG culture is one of compassion, inclusion, and forward thinking. Even as an alumni, I still feel very connected to my BCG family, and I think I always will. Casey McLemore, former BCG recruiter. So there you are, everything you need to know about why BCG is a great place to work and how to answer the why BCG question. And if you want a shortcut to your mastery of the types of consulting interview questions you might encounter in interviews so you can help land your dream offer, I'd love to help you. My team and I offer an entire curriculum teaching you how to prepare for consulting interviews, including the case and fit interviews and all other consulting interviews. One-on-one coaching with former MBB interviewers who can work on specific casing strengths and weaknesses so you feel confident when you walk into interviews. We have a proven process. In fact, here are David and Helena.
I think there are two parts to it. One is just the curriculum that Davis and the team put together. I think it's a really comprehensive introduction to every single step of consulting interviews. The second part, which I really appreciate, is just having the case coach, my case coach Peter, who's really helpful and really experienced. I think his approach on storytelling, along with Davis' framework and the storytelling part, took my casing to the next level. Davis breaks down how recruiting actually works at these companies, which is something that I definitely didn't know before coming to MCO. The second, like I said, mentioned before, just Peter being there and helping me elevate my casing to the next level that I wouldn't have never thought about things that he told me on my own or with mentors or at my school. So I think that's super helpful. There was no way I was going to do this on my own and get the offers that I wanted. I have a current offer on the table from both Bain and BCG San Francisco office.
Before I started with my consulting offer, I'd actually only done one case ever. So my background was extremely limited. I think this is what I wanted to do at the time. So my consulting offer gave me like a really quick overview of everything about consulting, what is it, like 18 hours. I just sat down and watched these videos, and it really helped me prepare for the real cases and kind of laid the foundation for me to build off of. I really liked all the active practice there was and the practice problems. Just like seeing my development along the way. So like every case I took notes, like how I felt I did. And at the beginning, right after I started watching the videos, I was still struggling a bit and I would like score myself. And then I watched myself progress. And I think a lot of that is due to the fundamentals I learned in my consulting offer.
Want to learn how you can get My Consulting Offers help to land the consulting job of your dreams? For a limited time, I've asked My Consulting Offer team of former recruiters from Bain, BCG, and McKinsey to help anyone who is watching this video on YouTube get more interviews and land more offers. When you click on the link in the description, you will be able to book a free 30-minute strategy session with one of our team members. The best part, typically we charge $1,000 for these strategy sessions, but until the slots run out, you can grab one of the $1,000 strategy sessions today, absolutely free. All you need to do is click on the description below this video and schedule your free strategy session. Our other videos can help you land your dream consulting offer. Check out our case interview prep video, which can speed up your case prep with our proven 4-step process.